Hey folks, since in the previous session we have created two set of features which is all about CSC underscore min and CSC underscore max, and we have touched upon all the logic behind both the features. So in this particular session, our problem statement is all about, first and foremost, let's try to understand what exactly is a token, and then we will touch upon what is the difference between a token and a word. Then we will try to create some more set of feature which is all about common underscore token underscore count underscore minimum, and the second one is all about our maximum feature. So first and foremost, let's try to understand a basic, or first and foremost, let's try to get a high level overview of what are tokens and words and what are the fundamental difference between both the keywords that we have. Let's say I have the sentence one, which is all about what is the step-by-step guide to invest in the share market in India. So token is all about, first and foremost, let's try to understand what is token. So if I will split this string into a list data structure, just using our split function, if I will say, hey, can I split this string considering spaces separators, we will end up getting a list data structure where I have values as first is all about what, second element is all about is, the third one is all about the fourth one is all about step, so on and so forth. We have by, then again we have step. Similarly, we have all other elements over here. Now let's try to understand what is a token and what is a word. The moment I have split this string into a list, so whatever we have got is exactly a token. It means what is a token, is a token, the is a token, stop is a token, by is a token, and step is a token. And words are actually those one which must not be a stop words. So if I will say, hey, what are the words over here? So words can be nothing but our step. This is the only word in the entire list that we have. So I can say this is the only word that we have. Along with that, it is also a token. It means it is both word and it is both token. But if I will say what is with respect to is, it is only a token. It is not a word. It is not a word because it is a stop word. Similarly, the, it is only token. It is not a word because it is a stop word. It means if any token, if it belongs to stop word, it is not a word. That's a fundamental difference between our word and token. So let's try to understand this metric, or this feature is all about common underscore token underscore count underscore minimum, which is all about nothing but a ratio of common token count. You can say it as CTC count. CTC gets divided by minimum of length of total tokens. Let's say I have two sentences. Let's say S1 and let's say S2. I have to just convert this into a list. Let's say L1 and L2. So I will say minimum of L1 or minimum of len of L1 comma len of L2. Len of L2. That's how you can think of implementing all this stuff. Let's try to implement all this stuff. So just to implement this, you can think of your existing function and you can think of modifying this existing function. So first and foremost, I will say common underscore token. First and foremost, it is all about common underscore token underscore count underscore word underscore minimum. This is the function name, let's say, that you have. So whatever Q1 and Q2 I will pass to it, let's try to convert this into a list. Cool. Then I can think of converting this into a list L1, which doesn't have any stop words, and list L2, which doesn't have any stop. Now in the entire logic, you have to just do some minor changes. The moment I say length of L1, here you have to consider your Q1 underscore tokens. Similarly, here you have to consider your Q2 underscore tokens, because this function is all about nothing but it is all about common token count. It is all about common token count, and you can achieve the common token count by basically computing an intersection between S1 and S2, where S1 is all about set and S2 is all about set of the list L1 and L2, which doesn't have any stop words. Note, L1 and L2 must not have any stop words, because common word makes a lot of sense. Because at the end of the day, you have to build a model, let's say a model, machine learning model M1, and to this machine learning model M1, you have, let's say, some features, And among all the features, you have a very important feature which is all about CTC underscore min. And if this feature holds basically our numerical value, let's say 7. But what if in this 7, it also consider our stop word count? That's why you have to exclude the stop words that you have, just using a word not and stop. Now let's try to execute this line of code. Similarly, this time it's all about nothing but customizing function name and customizing the function, which is all about applying a max function on top of all the stuff that you have. Let's try to execute this line of code. Now what you can do is you can think of copying all the lines and you can just think of customizing it. That's not a rocket science. That's quite simple. Now here you have to mention the very first function name what you have defined, which is all about nothing but our common underscore token underscore count underscore minimum. This time the tongue goes to maximum. I will say it is all about maximum. Let's try to store it in. So I will say CTC underscore minimum and let's say CTC underscore maximum. And the moment I will execute this line of code, and if I will say, let's say df dot head of, let me pass some random value, let's say 3. And if I will execute this line of code, now you will notice you will end up getting two new features, which is all about CTC underscore min and CTC underscore max. And the moment I will call, let's try to cross check all the feature name. Let's call column. Now you will see two new features, CTC underscore min along with CTC underscore max. So that's all about this session. Again, for those of you who have any doubt with respect to the pseudocode, with respect to the logic, with respect to the function, or if you are encountering any error with respect to the entire use case or any tutorials, feel free to ask with us in the Q&A of the course. That's all about it. Thank you. Have a nice day. Keep learning, keep growing, keep practicing.